Hi, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Megan.
Welcome to the Grimdark Diaries.
We're your geek gal pals obsessed with true crime and all things dark and disturbing.
Hi, hello, everybody. Welcome back for another episode. Megan, how is your week? Is your week good?
My week has been really good, actually. We have a new office that we now work out of some of the time. I'm still in my old office, but I have a new office that we just opened. And now that the restrictions are kind of lifting, we have a lot of our staff coming back into the office. And because I work in IT, I have to be there to make sure like networks are working, set printers up, et cetera, that fun stuff. And the only issue that I'm finding is that I am back and forth so much. My two offices are probably, I want to say 5 or 6 blocks away from each other. And it's literally uphill both ways. And I know you're going to laugh at that, but like the way that it is like you go a little bit uphill and then you reach a peak and then you go down. So it's literally uphill both ways. And then you peak and then you go down. So it's kind of nice because the rest of your journey is downhill. But I have got so many steps in this week from going back and forth. I guess it's a positive. Yeah, it's fine. The new office is beautiful. We have a beautiful view of the harbor, which I love very much. And yeah, it's all modern stuff. And we have 2 fridges, 2 dishwashers, 2 microwaves. It is...
You're easily made happy. I like that.
Absolutely. These are the things that make me happy. Absolutely. Yeah, and everybody else seems to love it too, which is great. We have a candy corner, which I'm trying to avoid because I'm really trying not to put on more weight. Doing everything
just
I
do
can
what I
to lose
do
it.
and just be intolerant to like every food, and then also
try
and save the planet by eating plant-based, and then
also working
you
on
can't eat
that
anything.
because I'm already celiac now, so most of the candies I can't eat. It's funny because I'm still in that headspace where I'm just like, oh, I'll just try this one, see how I feel, without checking first. And I'm like, no, don't do that anymore.
No, you fool.
I had like 2, what was it, Maltesers or something like that. I had 2 of them the other day, and I was like, I should check to see if these are gluten-free. And I looked them up, and they are not. I was like, uh-oh, I might have a bad day tomorrow. So if I work from home, you know why. Luckily, it didn't hurt me too bad. It was not great, but I didn't have to stay home, which was nice. So anyway, I did it to myself, so I have no one to blame but myself.
No, you have no one to blame.
Yeah, so I'm working on that. I'm building up an intolerance to everything.
Nice.
Yeah, except plant-based. I would like to get to the point where I'm at probably not a fully plant-based diet. I don't know. I'll try it out and see how I
said
feel.
that too, and then
I know you did. I remember.
I know, and I was very against being fully plant-based.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know what I would do without my chicken nuggies.
I'm telling you, these veggie nuggies, I'm down to clown with them.
I just don't know, Nikki. I haven't had
You know
them,
what
so.
I found? Oh, you know what I freaking got the other day at the grocery store? Again, we're talking about food.
I know,
this is the
we
last
do
thing I'm
this
going to say about
so
food. They have
times.
there's this brand called Holy Veggies, and they make these veggie matzo stick things.
Ooh.
And the thing, so I still like am messing around with cheese a little bit. I'm not fully off the cheese,
okay.
but it'll be like I hadn't had cheese in like 2 months, and then I had it like once and I didn't feel well.
Okay.
So then my problem is that I love matzo sticks, but most matzo sticks are dipped in egg before they bread them, and I have an egg intolerance. So like I cannot eat egg.
Yeah.
So I cannot eat most matzo sticks, but it's not because of the cheese, because of the damn egg that they use to put the batter on.
Right.
So these are plant-based, so there's definitely no egg. And
is
oh my
it
friggin'
coated
God,
in
I could have
wheat
cried.
though? Because I feel like that's my issue.
These ones, I don't know if these ones are gluten-free. I did not check that. See, I can eat wheat, so I don't check for that.
I can eat dairy, but I can't eat wheat. So anything that I find is like that, where it's kind of like, I don't know what you would call those, hors d'oeuvres or whatever. I find most of that stuff is like dipped in wheat and deep fried.
I don't know. These were freaking good though.
Okay. Well,
anyway, moving away from food.
Glad you enjoyed.
Moving away from food.
I don't know how we always end up talking about food every time.
I just like eating at all times.
Perpetually hungry.
Yeah. I have a story. So I had a game on the weekend for the lacrosse team that I dance for.
Yes.
And it was one of those days where it seemed like things just kept going wrong all day.
Oh no.
And it was just, I don't know, it felt like weirdly ominous that like just the littlest things were going wrong. We had like an on turf rehearsal before like the game in the afternoon and stuff. And it was just, things were just seeming a little off. And then one of my good friends on the team, her and I kept saying like, man, things just keep happening that are very off. And it was like throwing us off our game. And like even little things like her fake eyelashes weren't going on right. So she had to take them off. And she's like, everything's going wrong. And so then we go to perform our first dance for the game. And it was between the second and third quarter. There's like a 2-minute break in between between the first and the second quarter.
Right.
There's a 2-minute break. And that's when we were scheduled to dance. So we run out there in our little uniforms and we're waving to the crowd, and then we get in our spots.
Yeah.
And then the DJ starts the music and it starts and we all like do the first move, and then all of a sudden everybody kind of had the same feeling where it was like, okay, this music seems weird.
Oh no.
And then sometimes, and it could be with other things too, like other performing arts, but especially with dance, like a lot of times your adrenaline is pumping because you're dancing in front of thousands of people.
Absolutely.
So it almost feels like you almost have like an out of body experience because your adrenaline is so high that sometimes it feels like the music is slow, or like you're like in a Matrix moment. You know what I mean? You're having like kind of an out of body.
You're the Flash
experience.
and you're watching it all happen in slow.
Literally, that's what it feels like sometimes when you're dancing. So I was like, man, this music feels slow. And I was like, is my adrenaline like up this high? Like, geez. And then like I'm doing the dance and I'm like, no, like am I having a stroke? What's happening? Like this music is so, I feel like I'm dancing in Jello. And
I
like,
thought you were going to say it was the wrong song, but it was the same song, but slower.
No, but we're in this middle of the performance, so all I can do is just stay with the beat of the music, which I was like, this feels so slow. Like I feel stupid because I feel like I'm doing like step together touch. Like it was so slow.
Your hair flip doesn't exactly have the same
literally
flow.
And then there's one moment where in the dance I do something, and when I turn around, there's a girl behind me and she also turns around, so we end up face to face for like 1 second, and when we turned around I locked eyes with her and we both made a face, and I was like, okay, it's not me. So then we like finish the dance and run off the turf into like our back dressing room, and somehow the DJ played our song at half speed.
No, he didn't. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What do
he
you
claims
do?
that he didn't. He said he didn't. He's like, I played the exact file you gave me. I did not alter the tempo at all. But we were like, okay, but you did though.
Okay, but it was half speed compared to what you were practicing with. Wow, that is wild. Okay, so half speed, that's a lot. I feel like that's a big difference.
I mean, I don't know if it was exactly half speed, but like,
right, okay.
we were moving slow. It was probably the least entertaining dance ever.
I feel like it would be way more entertaining because you'd be like, why are they dancing so slow?
It was, and the song itself was not a fast song to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah. It was that Confident song by, I think, Demi Lovato or somebody sings it.
Yeah, I know the song. Yeah,
that one. And so then that, but slow.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was not great.
Oh my gosh, that's very unfortunate. Well,
yes, and then we were really nervous because we had another dance between the third and fourth quarters. So we were like, oh God, because the one we were doing between the third and fourth quarters was my choreography, and I did it to an extremely fast song. Like it's probably one of the fastest songs I've ever chosen. So I was like nervous that he was going to overcorrect and speed it up.
Could you imagine?
And I was like, we won't be able to do it. Like our legs physically cannot move that fast.
Luckily it wasn't though, I'm assuming.
No, it was the right speed.
Okay,
and we
good.
killed it. It was like the best we've ever performed in that second dance.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, we absolutely killed it. It was like a flawless moment.
Nice. I love it. I can't wait to go see you dance.
Yeah, Megan's finally going to come to a game.
I know, it's been what, like 2 years? Over 2 years now. I have not seen Nikki dance yet. Definitely
Literally, so I
now.
get free tickets to every game. Not a single friend or person has used my free tickets to come watch the game or watch me dance.
That's so sad. Definitely need to go more. I didn't even think about it, honestly, this year. I mean, with all the restrictions and stuff, I wasn't comfortable going any other time. Fair. But now I'm just like, you know what? I really want to go because, one, I want to see what lacrosse is all about because I have no idea. I've never been to a game before in my life.
Very exciting. And
Canada's national sport.
And we're like the best team.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
From you, but you're on the team, sort of. So I feel like you might be a little biased.
No, we really are, like stats wise.
Really? Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I haven't checked the latest stats, but we were either first or second in the entire league, and it's a bit like it's
that's amazing.
Not just Canada; it's the U.S. I think there's actually more U.S. teams.
No way! Wow.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. It sounds like it's, I don't know, because you hear more about like NHL and NBA and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
it's national, but it includes both countries, which I still don't understand.
Well, it's same like NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
National Football League.
Yeah, but it includes like Canada teams is what I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
National is like one country. So it's just funny to me that they have multiple countries in a national league. But it's good. I'm happy that your team is doing so well, and I can't wait to go and watch them play. And you dance,
I don't like dancing
finally.
for losing teams. One of the basketball teams I used to dance for was a losing team. Wasn't great.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it was hard to get people hype in the audience when your team stinks.
Yeah, exactly. You're not exactly like cheerleaders, but you're kind of.
No.
You want to still cheer them on, but not
yes, we still I would say hype up the crowd, right? And we still cheer for the team.
Yeah, but you're not.
Plus, I just don't like losing at anything, so I don't want to be a part of something that's losing.
Yeah, that's fair. Is it? I don't know.
Why do I want to be a winner?
Go sports things. I'm gonna look like
an
idiot.
Work on that before you come to the game.
Exactly. I'm gonna look like an idiot in the stands. I have no idea how to cheer for sports, but I'm very excited to go.
Trust me, you'll get into it. It's very easy to see when something goes bad and something goes good in lacrosse.
I love hockey. I'm a huge hockey fan, so I love.
If you like hockey, I think I'm gonna put money down now that you are going to enjoy lacrosse more.
Oh, really? More? How much are you willing to put down? We don't have pennies anymore, so it can't be that low.
No. One home cooked meal.
Please, because we've been talking about it for a while and we have
but you know if I win, then you gotta cook me meal.
So damn busy. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Shit, I didn't think that through. It's fine. I'll look up. You gave me a really cool cookbook with like celiac recipes. Not celiac recipes. You know what I mean? Recipes for people with celiac. So I can cook you something out of that.
Deal.
Perfect. Love it.
Well, I think it's story time.
Oh, we're a few minutes in.
We're just a couple.
Bring it on.
Well, my category was unexplained phenomena.
Oh,
Do you say phenomena or phenomenon?
Phenomenon.
You say it with an N?
Yeah. Is there an N? There isn't, is there? Phenomena. It's not like, I don't know why.
I'm asking you.
Because I'm picturing
the song,
the
something
song
like a phenomenon.
Yes, exactly.
Something like a phenomenon.
And that was when that word, like I hate to admit it, but I feel like that was when I learned what that word was. And when the movie came out, because they kind of came out around the same time, the like LL Cool J song and the movie Phenomenon. I know we talked about this.
This is 2 weeks in a row we're talking about.
I know,
LL Cool J.
but I'm just saying. I know, I freaking loved LL Cool J though. Anyway, I feel like because of that song, I say it phenomenon, which I know it's not. I don't think it is spelled that way, is it? Phenomena? No, now I don't know. I'm second guessing myself. Please, just tell me. I need closure. It's phenomenon. Wait, phenomenon. It is phenomenon. It's got an N at the end.
It does.
The movie as well. PHENON. Phenomenon. Wow, that is a mouthful.
Phenomenon.
I know what I'm talking about.
I didn't discredit you.
I was like,
you had this argument entirely.
I know,
with yourself.
I really did. I was like 13, 14 years old. So I was in high school, like junior high. My high school and junior high were both together in one. And they came out around the same time. And I think that's why I have those memories that I do about Phenomenon.
Well,
anyway,
I was just asking because I hear people say it both ways.
Well, now we know.
So my category was unexplained phenomenon.
Yes, carry on.
And I didn't really know what to do for it. So
okay.
I found something. But I was like, is this a phenomenon?
Yeah.
And then I find cool stuff and then everything's explained. And I'm like, oh, well, that's no good. So I don't know. I found something cool. That's all that matters.
I mean, I feel like sometimes a phenomenon can be explained, but initially it might not be. So
no, but my category was unexplained phenomenon.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah, that's
semantics.
Completely
am I right?
Blanked out on that word. Apparently, just so focused on the word phenomenon.
So we're going to be staying in Canada for today's theme. And I was actually surprised when I found this place because I have never, ever heard of it.
Where?
Well, in the Northern Territories, there is a place that's considered one of the last truly unexplored places in the world.
Oh?
Or so the internet told me.
Is it the Baffin Islands?
It is not.
Oh.
It is just over 500 kilometers away from the nearest city, which would be Yellowknife, the city that it's...
Oh, so it's in Yukon?
500 kilometers from. It is, I believe, before the Yukon. To reach it is not easy. You'll need a boat that can traverse rapids or a plane. You can also try to summit what's known as the... What are you laughing at?
Nothing. I just heard you and it was funny to me for a moment.
What did you hear?
Well, you said you have to be able to traverse the rapids or a plane. And I was like picturing in my head trying to get over or past a plane for some reason.
What?
Not flying there.
I said a boat that can traverse rapids.
Right.
Or a plane.
Or a plane. Yeah.
Comma. Or a plane.
Or flying there. Yes. Okay. Got it. I'm with you now.
You can also try to summit what's known as the Cirque of Unclimbables, which is just a circle of unclimbable mountains. So good luck if you want to climb that.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Yes, it is huge, dark mountain spires that shoot up into the sky. And it's said that on dark, foggy days, it looks more like Mordor than northern Canada.
What? We have something like that here?
We sure do.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. When you say before Yukon, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like in the Northwest Territories?
Yes, that's what I said.
Oh, you said the North. You didn't say Northwest Territories.
I said in the Northern Territories. There's a place.
In the Northern Territories. But there's the three of them are territories. Yukon, yes. Northwest Territories, and the none of it.
I did not get out a map.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, because I've been there.
But when I read stories, people said they reached this before they reached the Yukon.
Okay. Gotcha.
When they were traveling up from Yellowknife.
Gotcha. Okay. I understand. Thank you.
Jeez, Megan grilling me over here. I'm 2 sentences into my damn story and she stopped me 100 times.
I need to know the geography only because I've been there
How much have you had to drink?
Okay, well, okay. Shh. Why do we bring up my drinking every time? I feel like
I can tell how much Megan speaks on how much she's drank. We're setting a mood here. I'm trying to set a Mordor like creepy mood before I tell you where this place is.
Yeah. Okay. No. Please tell me. I get it.
So these mountains and lush forests are one of the reasons why this place has remained unexplored for so long. But the macabre history and legends surrounding the area are another reason that people are fearful of making the trek here. Today, we're going to learn about the Nahanni Valley, aka Nahanni Park, aka the Valley of the Headless Man.
What? How have I never heard this before?
Oh,
Oh man, I'm excited.
you're going to like this one, I feel. When I was
Cool.
doing this one, I was like, ooh, Megan's going to like this.
Excellent. I'm very excited to hear it.
Nahanni Valley has been inducted as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it
Nice.
was inducted in 1978, and it was one of the first 4 national heritage locations to be given this status.
Oh wow.
Yeah. If anyone is like me and they knew what a UNESCO heritage site was, but like didn't really fully know, like I knew, but
I
I
think
was
that's
like, I
me.
don't really know. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I don't actually really.
Yeah.
know. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I Googled it for us. So
Okay,
the
thanks.
acronym stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization.
Oh.
Yeah.
I knew the UN part, and that
I
was
did
the part
too.
I
That's
focused
as far
on.
as I
yeah,
knew.
Exactly. I think that's where
Yeah.
I landed.
In order to be considered for nominations to get one of these titles, there are specific guidelines an area must hit, and they constantly update the guidelines every year, every couple years too, to kind of keep it fresh.
Is this
With-
set by? Sorry, this is set by the United Nations, right?
I believe so, based on that title.
Sounds.
It
like
has a whole website where you can get the nomination forms to
Right.
fill it all out and send it in.
Okay, cool.
With naming these sites, they aim to facilitate the implementation of the convention concerning the protection of the world cultural and national heritage. Right from their guidelines outline, they say, the cultural and natural heritage is among the priceless and irreplaceable assets not only of each nation, but of humanity as a whole. The loss through deterioration or disappearance of any of these most prized assets constitutes an impoverishment of the heritage of all the peoples of the world.
What does that
Parts of this heritage, because of their exceptional qualities, can be considered to be of outstanding universal value and as such worthy of special protection against the danger which increasingly threaten them.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So the convention basically aims at the identification, protection, conservation,
Yeah.
presentation, and transmission to
Yeah.
future generations of cultural and natural heritage
I love it. Absolutely.
that they consider of outstanding universal value.
I suspect we have a lot of that here in Nova Scotia too, just from our
Yeah.
very vast history of everything, like Loyalists landing here and whatnot, and
Yeah.
being one of the first historical sites on this side of the country.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
hearing all that. I've been on a
Yeah.
real save the planet kick over this last year,
I-
and especially these last couple months.
Same. Yeah. Absolutely. It helps that I work for like an environmental company.
Yeah.
Yes, let's save the planet, please. Recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yeah. Well, you own a house and you got to do that. They'll reject your damn bags.
That's right. Here they will. I wish it was like that everywhere.
Yeah. So long before explorers first visited Nahanni Valley and the Nahanni River that runs through it, the Dene were the indigenous people who inhabited it. Well, they inhabited the land around it, but they generally avoided the valley itself. These people believed that the valley was an evil area pervaded by bad medicine. They felt that a malevolent supernatural presence hung over the place perpetually, like the ever-present fog that kind of always circles the valley, which gives it that Mordor look. Throughout the years, some members of the Dene would venture into the valley to hunt. They were said to either be extraordinarily brave or extraordinarily foolish. The valley has a lot of really diverse wildlife, though, and there's a lot of large predatory animals. So it was a good spot if hunters wanted to try and go in there.
Cool.
The few hunters that survived the trip and returned had all kinds of very goosebump-inducing stories to tell their people. At night, they'd sit around their campfire, and the survivors would tell of the evil spirits that haunted the valley and their encounters with them. They said on windy nights, their otherworldly shrieks would echo through the canyons and pierce their ears.
What?
Yes.
That is very eerie and
very
kind of exciting a little bit.
Right?
I would like to go there, please.
Some survivors claimed to see a race of hairy giants who lived in caves carved out of the canyon walls.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
Like straight up Yetis?
This is okay. Immediately, I'm thinking Bigfoot.
Right.
And I'm thinking we just like cracked the whole case on where Bigfoot comes from.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be shocked at all. A cryptid living in the Northwest Territories in a snowy landscape. I'm sure it's snowy.
And it's not actually super snowy there either.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this is what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking we just solved the mystery of Bigfoot.
Please.
And any Bigfoots that are spotted outside of there are just like the ones that wanted to be super independent. So they were like, I'm moving out, mom and dad. And then they went down to wherever.
Went on a journey. We're going on an adventure. Spotted.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay.
You heard it here first.
I absolutely believe you 100%.
Yep. We solved.
That's right.
We solved it.
Bigfoot mystery solved right here.
Yep. The Dene people said that this race of giants was also said to have been led by a beautiful pale-skinned chiefess. They said this race seemed primitive, and the giants would kill and eat anyone that trespassed into their valley that they were able to catch.
Well, snap. Do we have any missing 411 cases from this particular region?
Oh.
I would like to do some investigation and research on this.
Yeah. According to Dene tradition passed down over generations, the Nahanni Valley was first inhabited by the Naha people. They were fierce warriors who would descend from their mountain homes to raid the Dene villages located in the lowlands surrounding the mountains, outside of the mountains.
Why?
So the Naha people that lived in it would then just like apparently scale down these unclimbable mountains to attack them.
Oh, wait, why though?
To pillage their villages and steal and kill them.
So they're like Canadian Vikings?
Apparently.
Okay, that's interesting. There's got to be a way. Maybe they have a secret passageway through the mountains to get down.
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure that there's some ways to get in the mountains once you're up in there.
Yeah, fair.
I say that, but I have no idea.
Who knows? I'm
very
very
the hunters
interested
would make it in
out.
there sometimes too. Like the Dene hunters would go in there. That's how they saw the giants.
Right, yeah. So
the name Nahanni itself is of Dene origin, and it actually means the river of the land of the Naha people. So they named that area for the Naha people.
Okay.
The Dene suffered devastating losses from the attacks, so some of their warriors decided to retaliate and to set out to enter the Nahanni Valley and pillage their camps. As they came up to the settlement, they saw a scattering of teepees and braced themselves to attack. They rushed up to the camp with weapons drawn, but they realized that there was no one here. It was like the entire settlement just vanished.
What? Oh, so there is missing. Missing for one. It's confirmed
missing.
Right here. Wow. Okay, cool. Bigfoot confirmed.
Right? At this point, the campfire tales of the evil spirits of the valley were ingrained in the Dene people. So they panicked that, how was an entire village of people able to just disappear? So they retreated back to the lowlands. And then after that attempted attack, they said they never ever saw the Naha people again.
No way.
Yep. No one has ever seen them since.
Interesting.
In the early 1800s, fur traders of the Northwest Company established Fort Liard and Fort of the Forks, which was later renamed Fort Simpson. These two trading posts were situated on the Liard River. One was upriver and one was downriver of the mouth of the South Nahanni. In these trading posts, they learned all about the history of the Nahanni from the Dene people, because the Dene would go there as clients looking to sell furs or do trades or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And so they would tell them all these stories about the Nahanni Valley and the Naha people. In 1823, an explorer named John MacLeod attempted to explore the remote area, but he couldn't make it up the river due to the rapids and how wild the water was. Mm-hmm. He tried again. Same deal. He could not make it up. So that was the first attempt of someone from the outside trying to make it in.
Wow.
In the summer of 1897, everyone was getting super hype over the gold strike in the Klondike. Whoa, that rhymed. I feel like I just started a rap of some kind. Okay. Getting hype in the gold strike in the Klondike. Oh, draw me a sick beat, Megan.
Please stop. I can't beatbox. You wouldn't even want to hear me try.
Today was your day to shine and you let me down.
I could get in the position of it, but I can't actually do it.
In the position of it.
Yeah, where you put your hands over your mouth and pretend you know what you're doing. Yeah, my brother is a great beatboxer, but I am not.
You just make some mouth noises.
Boop, boop, shoop.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Look out for our CD coming out later this year. I hope you all still have CD players.
Yes, this is about as far as my beatboxing talents go. I apologize in advance. Yep. I mean,
every song will just be Megan going boop boopy doo in the background.
Boop boop sh, boop boop sh.
Oh, she's got
I'm
beats.
adding some flair.
Ooh. And then I will rap about Bigfoot and the gold strike in the Klondike.
I think we're on to something
our first
here.
Album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So everyone was hype over that. This kicked off, including Megan, a movement of men and women from all over the world going up north, hoping that they could strike gold too.
Wow.
A handful of them opted to take a hazardous trail through the Nahanni River, hoping it would be a shortcut to reach the Yukon. Most of the people died trying to trek through here, but there were a few survivors that ended up making it. Some even decided to pan for gold right in the Nahanni River. When they returned to the northern trading posts, they had all kinds of strange tales.
Oh.
They said that once you actually were able to get in there, the area was like a paradise valley hidden from the rest of the north.
No way.
They said it was snow-free all year round and had almost a tropical climate thanks to hundreds of bubbling hot springs that ran through the valley.
What? All year round?
That's what they said.
That is wild. I can't. No, they are way further north than we are.
You Googled it?
I did. I just see it on a map where it is. That's all I wanted to know.
Don't look at the news article searches.
No, I obviously won't look at anything else. I just wanted to see where it was on the map.
So the hot springs lie all beneath the valley, and some are actually sulfur springs. So the sulfur can often fill the air with an odd smell. I feel like we all know what sulfury smells smell like.
Yes. Rotten eggs.
Yeah, they do.
It's absolutely
They're a little
nasty.
farty.
Yep.
Yeah. The combination of the hot, sulfury air and the cooler Arctic air above it created thick and mysterious mists and fogs that cover the entire Nahanni Valley. So a lot of times it's obscured from view if you're trying to go over it, because it always just has this misty fog over it from these hot springs.
That's not ominous at all.
Right? Hence the Mordor. The travelers that were there, they said it was the constant fog and mist, it was very eerie, and it gave it an otherworldly ambiance.
That's very cool. I kind of want to go visit.
Right?
Yeah, it sounds like a really cool place.
They said even though it's constantly cloaked in this thick fog, the soil was very black and very fertile. And all of this meant that it had an amazing assortment of lush, what seemed to them exotic greenery, because it was almost a more tropical climate, they said.
I can't even envision this in the Northwest Territories of Canada. Like this is kind of blowing my mind a little bit.
Right?
It does sound a little otherworldly, I'm not going to lie. I'm picturing like a sci-fi movie where they land on another planet and it looks like Earth,
And you
but
just
it's
make
just
it over like
lush
something,
tropical,
and then it's like a different world.
Right? Yes, exactly. Like that's what I'm picturing right now. It's wild.
Right? Because of all of this, the good soil, the good greenery, it was also a hunter's paradise. There was so much grazing land, and they said there was a ton of wild game, and that the animals there that they saw, they seemed so well fed that they almost all seemed fat.
Is this like fairylands? I just feel like this is a dream.
It's fairyland. It's where Bigfoot ground zero.
Yeah. Cryptid 101 right here.
Right? Along with these very expected animals, there was also reported sightings of mammoths, mastodons, and other prehistoric monsters roaming the recesses of the Nahanni.
I don't believe that.
They found fossils, so they were there.
Fossils for sure. I mean, well, that's been proven all over the northern. As the glaciers move, the fossils are found. So this is what they say. So fossils were absolutely found there. Like, that's a fact. Absolutely.
And then both the native tribes and the gold prospectors claimed they would see the fresh tracks in the soft clay of the creek beds.
Can you imagine?
They weren't like, I saw a mammoth with a mastodon with my bare eyes.
Right.
But they were like, we saw. So this is the thing, is that they would say that they saw the tracks. Some frontiersmen returned home from their treks with ivory tusks, with hair and flesh still adhered to the bone. And then it wasn't until later that they found fossils there.
What?
Yeah.
I just can't wrap my head around that. I know they've talked about like, ooh, maybe this is like a breeding ground for the cloning that they were talking about that they wanted to do for the mammoths.
Man, everything's happening.
I know.
Here.
You heard it here first, folks.
Maybe there's also a glitch in time and space there. So like,
oh, that would be so interesting.
Right?
I actually really want to go here right now.
Despite the stories of evil spirits and prehistoric monsters, some prospectors continued to try and traverse the terrain. Wow, I really went with that alliteration.
Yeah, you did.
They tried to traverse the terrain in search of gold. A lot of them ended up having to turn back before making it to the valley because the conditions were just too hard with the rapids in the water and the mountains. One pair of brothers were able to make it all the way into the valley. Frank and Willie McLeod loaded up with mining gear, and in 1905, they set up the South Nahanni River. They traveled hundreds of kilometers by train, boat, and then foot during what was described as a numbingly cold winter until they reached their intended destination. all of this struggle to get the gold and to get there was totally worth it. And a year later, they returned home with a bottle filled with gold nuggets.
No way.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And they said they panned them all from the Nahanni Valley.
Wow.
With the success of their first trip there, they decided to go back again, hoping to find even more gold. They left in 1908, and they never, ever returned home.
No.
Willie and Frank's younger brother, Charlie, fearing the worst, gathered up a search party to see if they could locate the men. Like maybe they just were stuck there, or they got injured, or they're out of supplies. It was a diverse group of people in the search party. So he was able to get trappers, ex-Mounties, and some indigenous people from the area to help him. They made their way up the South Nahanni, scanning the wooded shore for anything out of the ordinary or any trace of the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
After several days of tracking and paddling their canoes upriver, Charlie and his crew made a horrific discovery.
Uh-oh.
On a flat area of the riverbank were the sprawled bodies of Willie and Frank McLeod.
No.
Their heads were nowhere to be found.
What?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
They were decapitated, and their heads were not with the rest of their body.
Oh, gosh. Okay. This is starting to sound like another Dyatlov Pass type of story.
Yeah. I totally got those vibes.
Did you actually? Yeah, this is the vibe I'm getting right now. Like, I'm a little concerned.
So near them were the remains of what looked to be their campsite. An article I read said it looked like maybe they were asleep when they were attacked. And one of the bodies of the brothers, it didn't say which one, the way his body was, it looked like he was reaching for a gun when he was killed. Because there was a gun on the ground just sitting there, out of like his hand reach.
Yeah.
They searched for their heads, but they were never found.
They're on a spike somewhere leading towards an area that you should not go. Wow.
A Scottish engineer had also actually been traveling with them on this trip, and there was no trace of him, and he has never been seen again, and his body has never been found, or any of his stuff.
What?
Yeah, he just disappeared.
Wow, that's wild.
Everyone had a lot of theories of what happened to them, possibly feuding prospectors that had also tried to go up there to find gold, or one of the local tribes, or maybe the hairy giants that aren't not Bigfoot attacked them.
It's 100% Bigfoot.
It's not Bigfoot.
It's not Bigfoot. We did not see Bigfoot and this hairy giant in the room at the same time, so
yeah.
Process of
elimination. It's like innocent until proven guilty. It's
That's
Bigfoot
right.
Until you tell me it's not.
That's right, exactly. Isn't that guilty until proven innocent?
Something like that.
That's where we're going with on this one. I like how my microphone is actually a Yeti right now. I just
God, all the pieces are coming together. Put another string on the murder board.
100%. Yes, Megan's mic is a Yeti, and therefore these are Bigfoot Yetis.
Wow, we are really cracking this case
I know.
wide open.
Our evidence is just like top tier.
Cryptozoologists, are you there? Do you hear us?
Absolutely.
Call us.
That's right.
But I'm not going to give out my phone number, so maybe
No,
just slide into our DMs.
Exactly. I feel like you know how to get a hold of us by now if you've heard any other episode that we've done.
No, all actual cryptozoologists have tuned out. They're like, these girls have no idea what they're speaking
right. Or they're like, ooh, they're onto something.
Yeah.
That's what I like to think anyway.
Yeah. So lots of theories, but they were never able to get answers. There was never any kind of evidence or anything that led to finding out what happened to the brothers. Then, in 1917, a Swiss prospector named Martin, I'm going to say Jorgensen. We're going to go with that. Martin Jorgensen. He had set up a cabin in the area, in that same area, and he was also later found dead.
No way. Was this a location that was close to those unclimbable mountains?
It didn't really say.
I'm very intrigued to see if that would be the case, because obviously they are not a fan of anyone getting close to that particular area.
No, but who isn't a fan?
Right? It could be the indigenous that had never been seen again.
Right?
And why haven't they been seen again? Because nobody survives the trip. I'm sorry. I'm really into this story.
I'm telling you, it's going to get a little weirder too.
Oh, God, please. Okay.
Yes. So Martin's body was also found decapitated and his head gone.
That is a very specific way to continually deform the bodies of your victims.
Yeah. It's like a signature.
It is a signature, yeah.
So the little cabin that he had constructed there, that was burnt to the ground, and his decapitated body was just found beside it.
That's sad.
Right? And according to a letter he had actually sent home not too long before the discovery of his body, he had said he struck gold there. And he was like, I did it. I found gold. Like, we're balling out.
Yeah.
McDonald's every night. I don't know.
Please.
I thought of what a rich person would do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, it would be just filling their gas tank.
Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started on the gas prices right now. Those are otherworldly. That is what I would consider otherworldly right now, is those gas prices.
So this was how the area earned the name of Valley of the Headless Man. After this, there would be dozens of prospectors that would meet an equally bizarre fate in the Nahanni Valley. In the winter of 1922, a World War I veteran named John O'Brien was discovered on a mountainside not far from another area called Dead Man's Valley. He was hunched over a pile of tinder with a matchbook in his hand, as if he had frozen to death while trying to light a fire.
What?
Legend has it that another man, an Ontario prospector named Ernest Savard, was found dead in his sleeping bag in 1945, and his head was also removed and never found.
What the heck?
Right?
It's like they just took the heads and the bodies and twisted them apart and just...
I think they'd be able... I think it was cut off.
Oh. Does it
say
that?
Notice a twisty neck.
I mean, you never know.
There was a lot of men who entered the area and simply vanished. And there was no trace of them. They went looking for them. They could not find them. They could not find their stuff. It was as if they disappeared.
Wow.
Numerous reports from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police confirmed the similar deaths between men and a large number of people having vanished without a trace after setting foot in the park. So this isn't just, hearsay. It was actual RCMP reports. Around the same time that this was happening, a series of unexplained plane crashes earned an expanse of the mountains in that valley the name Funeral Range.
Okay. Well, now you're just asking for it.
Right? Wait for it. It borders the ominous Hell's Gate Rapids.
Come on. Oh my gosh. Who named these places?
That's Nahanni, your PR people need some help.
Right?
You're not really doing anything for your tourism.
No, exactly.
I guess that's the plan, though, is maybe they don't want people there. So they're let's name it all this awful stuff and nobody will come.
That's fair. Yeah. Super ominous.
Except everyone is still trying to go there for some reason.
Gold,
yeah, so
obviously.
We got Valley of the Headless Man. We got Dead Man's Valley. We got the Funeral Range and Hell's Gate Rapids. Do you still want to go there, Megan?
I actually do, yeah. That actually kind of makes me want to go more.
There was a ton of reports with specific names and years of people that were there and just disappeared or were killed. So I'm not going to list them all because it was just a lot of the same kind of stuff over and over again.
Right.
But there was a ton of records of it, like a lot of them. One that was a little different from the rest, though, was a woman named Annie Laferte. And in 1926, she went with her hunting party in the valley near a spot called Flat River. She somehow got separated and got lost in the wilderness and just completely disappeared. But many months later, an indigenous person by the name of Big Charlie claimed that he saw the woman climbing a hill while totally naked and was described as having seemed like she lost her mind.
What?
Yeah.
That's a very interesting story.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just what he
Maybe there's
he
just some seriously crazy psychedelic drugs in that area.
Maybe. That's just it. There's like all kinds of poppy seeds and magic mushrooms and everybody's just blasted into their minds.
Exactly. You never know.
As the years passed, the remote wilds of the Nahanni began to appeal to geologists, naturalists, and other peoples of scientific communities, or anyone that kind of wanted to study that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With the northern frontier continually shrinking with the expansion of industrial exploration, these academics jumped at the opportunity to study this vast area of what they considered to be virgin wildness, Lord. What they considered virgin wilderness.
Ah, okay.
Virgin wildness, that's something very different.
That is a different episode.
Yeah. So they found, this was an area unspoiled and untouched by man, which was rare. Throughout the 1960s, some of the scholarly professionals who entered the Nahanni returned from their expeditions with experiences that they could not explain. The accounts of these academics, coupled with local anecdotes, created a new Nahanni legend.
Oof. This is
and remembering
so
these were all, professionals, academics, people of science.
Yeah. You're saying
According...
I can't do it? Just kidding.
Right.
I should probably get a little more experience under my belt before I head over there.
Yeah, maybe. According to these witnesses, the Nahanni Valley is home to an enormous, solitary, wolf-like creature eerily resembling a monster of Inuit myth. Dubbed the Wahila, this mysterious creature is believed by some to be a relict amphibian, which is an ancient carnivorous bone-crushing mammal often referred to as a bear dog.
What?
Yeah, and this is a real thing. This is
not a
thing
cryptid
that existed. No. This is a real
thing. Okay.
Yep. There's fossils of it.
No way. I've never heard of this before. I'm sorry. I'm learning so much about my country right now.
Right? I didn't hear of this thing either, and I Googled it, and it was the recreations from the fossils. Wild.
Okay. Please send me a photo later.
I will. I'll put it in our show note, or not in our show notes, in our Instagram post.
Okay, perfect.
Or you can Google it. It's amphibian. It's spelled AMPHICYON.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was said to look more bear than dog, and its dog features were very wolf-like. When I Googled it, it looked, so imagine a bear-like body, but it was on all fours, but it had a dog-like head. Megan, I can't hear you. I can see your mouth moving. No, I still can't hear you.
Why wasn't it unmuting me? Oh, that was
there
weird.
we go.
I'm sorry, I was
At
muted.
first I was like, am I dying?
No.
Did I have a stroke? I can't hear Megan, but her mouth is moving.
I muted myself and then it wasn't unmuting for some reason when I tried to unmute. I was saying, like, that terrifies me to my core because I am scared to death of bears. It is like a serious irrational fear that I literally have never even seen a bear, except really, really far away one time. I saw one at the zoo. Yeah, I've seen one at the zoo a few times, but nothing like... Anyway.
My husband fed a bear at the zoo from his hand. He gave him a peanut, like finger to mouth.
Was that the zoo that we all went to together?
Yeah, you were with us,
yeah,
weren't
I
you?
think I was there. I would noped out of that line.
I didn't want him to do it.
Absolutely not. No, thank you. Oh my gosh, I can't. Like, hello, it's a bear.
Yes.
So
and he
huge.
just so people know, he didn't just decide to like get all up in a bear cage. There was like a trainer there that handed him a peanut to feed the bear. And I think the bear's name was Blueberry.
Yes, you are right. Yeah, exactly. That was the same time that I went there as well.
So I got a picture of him with the bear and it looks weirdly like their rap album cover or something. They're like, because the bear's paw is up and my husband's paw is up and they're like touching each other. So it looks like it's their R&B album cover together.
That's actually kind of adorable.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put that in the episode pictures.
Thinking about the bear and dog face. So dogs, obviously we love dogs. I mean, not everybody loves dogs, but to think of a dog, you're thinking of a domesticated dog, but think of a feral dog.
Yeah, like a wolf.
A wolf kind of thing. And to put that on a bear's body. Like, just, I'm sorry, that actually really terrifies me to think about that existed at some point in time. And may exist now, is what you're saying,
just
right?
It, right?
I'm not okay with this.
So they were found to be, well, I mean, they think that they were very strong because they had this thick bear-like body and these very thick, strong limbs. But that came at the cost of speed. So they couldn't hunt fast prey. And then they also couldn't escape larger, faster prey.
Right. That makes sense.
They were supposed to have gone extinct about 8 million years ago. But some people maintain the wahila's physical description corresponds more closely with that of maybe a dire wolf, which would be a prehistoric relative of the modern day timber wolf. Mm-hmm. So even though they should have been extinct, it was thought that they were still maybe hanging out in the Nahanni Valley because they don't like... The Inuits did talk about these creatures that they called wahila. And like, obviously that had to be an animal that we know, but they just couldn't figure out what it was. All they had was their descriptions to go off of.
That's absolutely true. Yeah.
And if they were still there, then they kind of consider that to be a likely suspect in a lot of the Nahanni's many mysterious deaths and disappearances.
I don't know how to feel about that. I am a little frightened. I don't like bears very much.
Right?
And bears with
dog bears heads. Coming for you. All I could think of when I was reading it was Owlbears from Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I love it. The truth.
I was like, oh my god, a dog bear really existed? Does that mean an owlbear really existed?
Yes.
It did not.
Oh, come on. You had an opportunity to say yes there, and you chose not to.
Around the same time as the Wahila reports, various sightings of short, hairy, half-naked subhuman were seen in the area of Fort Liard, Fort Simpson, and Nahanni Butte, which was a community that was there.
Are we thinking maybe shapeshifter? And they're just seeing them at different phases
now we have
of their shapeshifting?
Short, half-hairy subhumans. So these ones can't be Bigfoot unless they're Bigfoot babies.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah.
Unless they are also evil killing machines.
Maybe. Hey, who said that Bigfoot's an evil killing machine?
You did when you said that there was like
I said that they ate people, but
Decapitated heads that were missing. Did they eat their heads?
we don't know. We can't find their heads. Maybe.
Lollipops? Okay.
Head lollipops. You heard it here first, folks. Megan's next
How many
big
licks
business.
does it take to get to the center? Okay. Anyway.
Don't
sorry.
finish that sentence.
I'm so sorry. All right. And continuing on with the story.
So this subhuman-like creature was reportedly wearing what they said looked like a moose skin loincloth almost. And they said it looked like it was carrying a club made of stone and had a long, dark beard.
Like a caveman?
Okay, I literally wrote down mini caveman? Question mark.
I'm glad that our brains are on the same level because, yeah, that was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, that's what I pictured, like a cartoon caveman.
Like Fred Flintstone's friend Barney.
He doesn't have a beard.
No, but like
he's blonde.
Short.
No, but he's short.
Blonde.
So he's just like a
blonde.
Short person.
Okay. Yes.
This creature was given the name Nukyuk by the local Dene. This creature seemed very similar to the stories of the hairy cave-dwelling cannibals, but just like a mini version.
Are they like a dwarf?
I don't know. They said subhuman.
I'm thinking of, so my all-time favorite author ever is R.A. Salvatore, and he writes about the drow and the dark elves, but he also writes about the dwarves and how they, I mean, we all know what.
I mean, there are mountains there. We all know that.
Yeah,
dwarves.
They live in the mountains and they
Yeah.
mine for gold. And literally, this story is starting to match up with the stories I've read about dwarves in my fantasy novels.
I think that this valley is just literally where everything exists.
Oh, everything from our imaginations in a fantasy world exists in this one area in Canada, right? Of all places.
Yeah.
Come visit and we can all go and take a trek there. I'm sure we won't be decapitated. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure all these other decapitations
right.
were just an exception.
That's right. Exactly. They went with too few people. We need to have like a horde of people.
Oh, God. Because that won't be threatening.
No, not at all. No,
for the horde.
Yeah. For the horde. Okay, this is turning into World of Warcraft, and that's probably not good either.
I mean, it kind of is.
Oh my God! So Ironforge is where we're going in the in the mountains. I am all for it. Let's do it. Let's recreate World of Warcraft.
Oh God. LARP. We're going LARPing in the Nahanni Valley.
I'm sure it will be fine. We're all fine.
That's going to be our tagline for our brochure that we hand out to try and recruit people. I'm sure it'll be fine. We're all fine.
With like flames coming up the backside of us.
No, don't show them the flames, Megan.
They're only seen with magic eye or like the invisible pen.
Yeah. And it'll be like, there's not Bigfoot here.
Exactly. You can't prove it until you prove it. And when you prove it, that's when we start having fun.
Whoa. That was a threat to follow right there.
No, not a threat. Absolutely not. I want to take pictures. And we'll take selfies with Bigfoot.
Oh.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
You got to get a good selfie stick for that one.
Yeah. Fair.
Because we are a species that just can't let things be. There is
the last
film,
10
as
minutes
I say,
of
as we're
our
planning our brochure to go there.
Literally the last 10 minutes of our conversation has been us not chilling out.
Right?
Yeah.
There is a filmmaker from Calgary named Mark J. McPherson, and he wants to get the real story of the Nahanni Valley because, no one has really been able to access parts of it. Mm-hmm. He first learned about the Nahanni and its dark history while writing a paper for his History of Exploration course at the University of Calgary. And then for 10 years, Mark used the stories about the murdered Headless Men and kind of all the mystery around it as inspiration for other film scripts he was writing. He eventually decided he wanted to learn more about these headless tales and all the other mysteries that are surrounding the valley. So Mark was on a mission to learn from the actual Dene people who inhabit the northern, boreal, and Arctic regions of Canada, because they're still there. The Dene people still live up there.
Okay.
Mark was able to find written words from European and, Canadian explorers that mentioned centuries of oral history from the Dene people, but he was never able to find written history by the Dene people themselves.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So all of this curiosity led to Mark starting a documentary film project called Secrets of the Nahanni.
Is this something we can watch?
Well, this is the thing.
Oh.
So Mark's goal is to make Mark may be dead is what I'm saying.
Oh no.
So Mark's goal is to make a documentary exploring the Nahanni River valleys to share the experiences of its natural wonders to others, while at the same time connecting these areas to the legends and mysteries that add another layer of curiosity and character to the region. The Nahanni Valley is still considered a sacred place to the people from that region, so there are actually parts of it which are completely closed off to the general public to be respectful. Mm-hmm. So even because it's open land, so anyone can go there. Yeah, but there's parts that they will you will be stopped from trying to enter.
Right.
Mark went through a 6-month process to obtain permission and permits to not only film on the Nahanni River, but to also access those restricted areas that the general public isn't allowed to see.
Wow.
He also obtained permission to film and capture the Dene's oral history, which up until now has never ever been recorded.
That's really interesting. Obviously,
right?
That is at his own risk, I would assume. Liability waivers galore.
There was a trailer posted for it on, let me see, I wrote it down. Let me finish the sentence. So I found they had a website, and there wasn't a ton of, there was no updates on there. It just basically said that information I just said.
Yeah.
So then I found a Facebook page, and on April 2020, they released a trailer for the documentary, and it was really cool. It had a bunch of footage of the area, but it was just kind of beautiful shots of a canoe in the river and trees and a lot of aerial shots. It looked very much like a place at a Lord of the Rings.
Really?
And then there was what I'm assuming was a Dene man there, and he was just talking about how he wants to share their history, and
nice.
He wants to share everything about the land and about them as a people and stuff like that. So he was in that trailer too, and he seemed super knowledgeable. He was an older gentleman.
Right.
So obviously Mark worked with people from there and got their permission, and they seemed to be on board with filming with him.
Yeah.
Right. But then, so the last post on their page was October 2020. And then just nothing. So he was on a bunch of podcasts and stuff, and he's oh, catch me talking about the documentary on this podcast. So there was posts up until October 2020, and then just nothing.
I was gonna say, benefit of the doubt, this is also during the height of the pandemic.
Oh, absolutely.
However, if you're in the middle of nowhere where you're not likely to catch it, especially considering I don't think any of the territories got any cases for a year after COVID
they had very few cases,
if any at all. Yeah, exactly. So I feel that probably wouldn't have halted production on this.
No. Well, and if that was going to be the case, I would assume you would post and be
absolutely,
hey, we had to delay production
exactly
due to the world being on fire.
So there's just been nothing, and nobody else was a part of this production. It was just him by himself.
Well, it was this guy and whatever his little production company thing was. But when you go to their website, it just has all this information saying this is what we're going to do. And then you go to their Facebook where they were doing all these constant updates, and then it's just Nothing. And I can see people commenting on it being like, is this still happening? What are the updates? Why aren't you telling us?
No, I wonder. I'm so intrigued. I wonder if there's ever been anything listed about this guy. Like, has there been like a missing persons case for him, or has there been?
Oh, I didn't do that.
I'm very curious.
I feel like that would have come up if I Googled it.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. So, what does that mean? I don't know. Maybe restrictions and
maybe. Part of me hopes the film happens because I want to see this place.
Same.
But also part of me kind of hopes it doesn't, because I like the idea that there is a place.
I thought you meant because you were hoping he didn't make it or something.
No, oh God, no. No,
horrible.
I hope that Mark is okay.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I like the idea that there's still a place on this earth completely untouched by humans that can remain a mystery and be sacred to these people.
Yeah. I love that. I absolutely
Because once you get cameras and everything in there, then that,
beefs up tourism. Really.
Well, and then it also takes the mystery away.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's
or maybe they're all dead. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm hoping not. That would.
Yeah, I wasn't grim enough in this episode, so I had to bring the grim dark.
And did you ever bring it? Yeah, that was. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I feel about any of that.
So is this added to our travel list?
Absolutely. I am down to travel there for sure. Now, obviously, we wouldn't disrespect the land and go anywhere we weren't allowed to go, but
no, we'd also have to learn to go up rapids and possibly
survive in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Let's take Scouts 101. I don't know. Survival 101. I don't know. I don't even know if I could survive one day in the woods, let alone multiple weeks in a row. It'll be fine. We're great leaders, obviously, for this wonderful trip that we want to take. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's wild. I can't believe that's in Canada.
I know, right?
I guess I didn't really know what to expect from this story, but this was not it. This was definitely like a phenomenon. This was a really good story.
Yeah. Did I hit unexplained phenomenon?
Absolutely nailed it for sure. Yeah.
Nice.
I think so.
I started the story and then I was like, I don't think I'm following the theme, but
no, you absolutely are.
I found a cool place and I want to talk about it.
It's like an anomaly. It literally is a phenomenon. Like you walk into this area and it's a phenomenon. Like, you can't explain how they don't have snow all year round. Like, literally, we live in Canada. I'm sorry. You can't tell me that there's no snow.
Maybe they do have snow. I don't know, because people don't go to parts of it.
Maybe, but
that's the thing is that it's not explored.
When I did look it up where it was on the map, there were pictures of the mountains, which I can absolutely see as being Mount Doom, which kind of freaky, not gonna lie. But also, like, if there's any snow, it's on the mountain caps.
Yeah, which they said would be Arctic air up high, so that makes sense.
Totally. But like the land down below, and any water that you see is like glacier turquoise blue. Like, I love
it's
that
gorgeous.
So much. Oh gosh, I absolutely want to go see some of the hot springs. I wonder if there's any place up there in the hot springs that you can actually go in. Some of the hot springs are too hot. And you should not go in, but there are some that you can go in. A lot of the places in Alberta that you go to, the Rocky Mountains, Alberta and BC, there's the Rocky Mountains. You can go up to different resort areas and they have hot springs that you can go into, and they're actually totally fine for you to jump in, and it's just naturally warm temperature that you can
so cool.
sit in. Yeah, I did that once when I lived in Calgary. I went to Banff and went into the hot springs, and it was like, it's surreal a little bit because it's not heated by any man-made source. It is literally like nature. You get in the hot springs and it is just like you feel like you're in a hot tub, but it is natural hot springs.
That's wild.
Yeah, it kind of, you don't really think about it until you're actually there, and it's like, this is actually really wild that this is natural. And you just hop in and they act like it's a hot tub spa resort kind of thing.
Cool. I went to the Rockies once in my entire life, and I did not know that was a thing that
Really?
was also there, and I wish I knew that because I would have liked to go.
Well, now you can add it to your list, your ever-growing list of places that you need to go in your lifetime.
Yeah, right?
The bucket list is getting very long, folks. Okay, well.
It's your turn.
Oh, shit. You know what? I brought out my new Phoenix die. I'm very excited to roll it. It is the color of Rising Phoenix from the Ashes, which I am very, very fond and related to, I think. I continually relate with the Phoenix. Okay, I'm going to roll. Okay. Well, we have a 12. I don't think that's bad.
It's not great.
It's not great, but it's not bad. It's above 10. I'm going to take it.
You probably wouldn't hit.
Listen, let me have this, please.
You definitely fail whatever roll you're trying to make. But you wouldn't horribly fail. Like, you wouldn't trip and fall.
Right. And it would also depend on my stats, okay? Let's just talk about my stats and how wonderful they are, depending on what I'm rolling against. All right, my category is time travel. I don't know how we're going to find a true story about time travel, but I'm going to do it. Listen, I am all over Outlander right now, and time travel is literally the theme of the show.
I'll tell you right now, I've heard multiple, I put that category in there because I've heard multiple podcasts cover stories about people who do a crime and then they try and figure out time travel to undo their crimes or stuff like that.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay. Well, now I'm looking forward to looking it up and seeing what I can find.
Yeah. You can also find something
something
cool and like paranormal about time travel.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we just discussed this place that's possibly like a blip in time and space. So
I love it so much. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's my story for next week, so enjoy the double story 2 weeks in a row. Just kidding. Okay.
Megan just redoes this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Not as well, obviously. That's great. Okay, so if you would like to follow us on social media, you know how to find us. You just search The Grimdark Diaries. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is where you want to follow us, really. But we're also on Facebook. We're also on Twitter. I try to do okay with Twitter. I don't know. I like Twitter. I'm on Twitter all the time, so I do try to keep up with the Twitter a little bit, but literally
I don't know how to twit.
I'm copying and pasting Nikki's Instagram posts. So. But you can follow us on any of those platforms. Whatever you use, you can probably find us. And if you want to send us an email, send us your stories. We'd love to hear from you guys and see what you think. And if you would even like to collaborate or something like that, send us an email and we can chat about it. You can reach us at thegrimdarkdiaries@gmail.com. And whatever platform you're listening to us on, if it's Apple Podcast or if it's Spotify or Google or whatever it is you're listening to us on, do the thing that it allows you to do, and including 5-star ratings. I don't think you can do that on Google, but you can. I found out recently, heart the episode, and that will also add to our, algorithms of making us more viewable by other people who have not heard of us before. So if you do have anything that you can do on the podcast that you listen to us on the platform you listen to us on, we would love it if you did give us a 5-star rating if you can. Subscribe, follow, like, etc., etc. We would love that so much, so that we can be
especially
found by other people.
Because on Spotify, now that you can rate, somebody for some reason decided to take the time and give us a shit rating.
I don't know why.
We don't know why. This is my thing. This is my rant to Megan, is that I can see leaving a bad review for a service or a business because you want to warn, people. Like if I went to a restaurant and like it was dirty and I saw a rat, I would probably leave a review and be like, this place was filthy. There was vermin. Don't go here.
Right.
But if I listened to a podcast that I didn't like, I just then would stop listening.
Right.
To that podcast, because I'd be like, you know what, this one's not really my cup of tea. There's literally hundreds of thousands of them, on to the next one.
Right.
But somebody for some reason gave us a bad rating, which just brought our whole friggin' thing down.
It was a little heartbreaking, not gonna lie, to see that. But we understand. Obviously, we're putting ourselves out there, so we're going to get some sort of criticism. We don't know why. it isn't explained. So sadly, it's not
That's the
constructive
thing. Yeah, we don't know
criticism.
why.
It's not constructive criticism in any way, shape, or form, which is what we would prefer. Because if you don't enjoy us, then let us know. Like, what is it that you aren't a fan of? And we will do what we can to try to correct that in future episodes. So, let us know.
Yeah, so
why
everyone
you don't
please
like
go give us a 5-star rating
Yeah.
on Spotify.
Let's
to
bring
bring-
our rating back up because
Bring it back up.
from this one person who decided to give us a really shitty rating. So anyway,
I guess that means we kind of made it though, because that's when you
true.
when you have haters, that's when you've made it.
That's absolutely true. I guess
That's
we
what
just
I'm
need to
gonna tell
embrace
myself.
it. Yeah, that's right. We're embracing this new lifestyle. Lovers and haters. We only care about the lovers. Okay, so if you would like to join us next time, you can hear what I come up with for time travel. I'm very intrigued to hear what I can come up with for time travel for true crime, because it's going to be very interesting. We shall
Doesn't
see.
have to be true crime.
It can be anything spooky. Yes, spooky or creepy or anything.
Paranormal.
Yeah, we're gonna see what I come up with. And remember, a friend in the dark beats alone in the light.